Hi, welcome back to the Spoken Word podcast with my co-host CJ.
What you saying, bro?
I'm alright. Sorry
Yeah.
to the audience at home. My hair's a bit messy today. That's an appointment I got to see my hairdresser about, but there's more important things to discuss today other than my hair. So, how's it going?
Yeah, it's good, man. It's hot, man.
It's hot.
I'm sweating,
Yeah,
man. My face looks a bit shiny. I apologize, man. I'm sweating, man.
Shiny. That means you're like worth a little gold, isn't it, man? Shiny.
Come on, man. Come on. Let's get into the important topics, though, man.
Yeah.
Some recent news.
So, as you're looking that up, so this what's the story about? So Sideman quits. What's it? The BBC radio. Was it One Extra?
Yeah, he's a host.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
host.
he's presenting for radio at BBC One Extra, and he's quit.
He's quit.
He's quit, basically. Yeah.
He's quit over the use of a racial slur. Now,
What was the racial slur, though?
it goes by the
That the
use of
people
N-word,
know. Yeah.
by the N-word. Now, the incident before that, as I understand, is so there was this NHS worker, right?
Mm.
He was also like a musician as well, right?
And what? A magician?
Musician.
Musician?
Yeah.
No, I
Musician.
thought he said magician.
No, musician.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he, I think he was in the Bristol area. From what I read, he's in the Bristol area. He's walking along the street, and there's these group of guys in the car. They shouting racial abuse at him, and they tried to run him over. And as a result of that, he's got a fractured cheekbone,
broken leg,
broken cheekbone, broken leg, and something. What was the other injury?
He's got bad injuries, man. He's finished, that guy, basically. So yeah. So Sideman, basically, real name David Wiley, said in a statement, "Action and defense of the action feels like a slap in the face of our community." Because the reporter, what's her name?
Her name is Fiona Ladman.
Fiona Ladman, yeah, said. But I'm thinking, is this the first time that they've said the N-word in the news report?
I don't remember.
I'm sure they've said it.
I really don't remember. But what's happened is there's been a big backlash over that. I think the BBC got over 18,000 complaints about that use of language that was aired at the time. Before that reporter has said what she said there was going to be disturbing language beforehand, just to warn the viewers this is what was going to come up. And she's obviously said that, and now people are not happy with the BBC for this, and as a result, Sideman has quit his role as host of the BBC One Extra show. And then there's a lot of people in support of this, saying that the BBC don't really care, and their apologies are not like sincere and everything.
Bro, I'm dying, fam.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm dying. It's hot, fam.
It's hot.
It's hot. But yeah,
what's your take on this then?
On it?
Like,
big up to Sideman though, because most people.
Yeah.
Okay, so he came out and said it was a slap in the face of the black community. Obviously, he was offended by the comments that was said by the reporter. Yeah. So for him to actually do that takes balls of steel, innit? Because most people will be offended. Like, so imagine you work for that company and someone says that, and you feel offended. You still be in a job, basically. You still be doing your role, but deep down inside, like, I don't like the fact that the company I've worked for has come out and said that.
Yeah, a lot of people think
so for him to do that, because obviously that's a good gig for him, innit? Being a host of BBC One Extra Radio.
Won't even do that. They will be offended. They won't like it. But you got to remember, in something like that, it's like there's a lot of corporate,
and it shows that he actually stands for something.
Yeah.
So respect to him for that. But then on the flip side, she might get a bit of smoke for this. I'm thinking is like, in terms of what the report actually said, that's her job. She's reporting on it, yeah. Like, she a journalist or reporter, is the same thing.
I think she's either
whatever.
one.
She's reporting on a situation, basically, innit? So my thing is, if she's reporting on what actually happened, and I think in the report didn't say that the parents or the family
wanted to disclose every
detail,
thorough detail as thoroughly as possible.
Yeah. So if you want, I don't really see a problem with that because you're reporting on it.
Yeah. So my thing on this. So starting with Sideman first. So he's obviously taken a big decision, which I think a lot of people wouldn't do. So they'll be offended by something like that. and I understand why. They'll be offended by something like that, but they wouldn't say anything. And you got to remember they're working for like corporate people way higher up in the company, like for example BBC, like ITV, those kind of companies, and they'll probably discuss it with their friends and family, saying that they think it's outrageous that's happened, but they'll still be working for them. I ain't knocking those people for that. I mean, I kind of understand why, if that's your job and that's you need to obviously earn your living and that kind of stuff. It's not simple as just leaving and then that's it. I get that, so I don't knock him for that. I think that's a brave decision on his part.
100%.
But my thing on that as well, like it's similar to what you said. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not looking too much at the reporter. I'm looking because she's reporting what was said. She's not. I don't think she's not using like that word as a slur or to attack people. She's just saying. She said. I think she at the end of the report. I remember reading and also listening to it. She says it's disgusting. She's saying what happened. So the guys have driven past this guy that's walking on the street in Bristol. They drove into him to try and like kill him basically. So it's like an attempted murder. And as they did that, they were shouting the racial chants.
I think they've been charged for that.
I think they got charged for. I think they've been charged for that. But they're shouting the racial slurs. So she's saying exactly what they said, allegedly said, and that's it. To be honest, I remember, and I mean, I get what I think should have happened. Maybe, do you think maybe she should have heard about this? Do you think maybe she should have like came out and said?
Obviously, the thing with BBC, they obviously knew that would be sensitive. Yeah, so they would have had a meeting before that, or brief and saying, okay, should we actually use the full word, the full term, or
do you think? Obviously, the
so they knew what they was doing. They knew that this would catch heat anyway.
The reporter said what she said, but do you think, since she would have heard that there's been a backlash since then, do you think she should have came out and said to people, look, I apologize if I caused any offense, actually saying what was said, just, do you know what I mean, just to show that you do actually care. That
she hasn't.
I don't know. From what I haven't heard anything from her personally. I just the BBC talking.
I mean, you
she obviously works for
them.
Yeah,
you should. Standard courtesy, innit?
Yeah. But in the moment of her just saying what was said, I think she was just doing her job. And it's not. But yeah, so I think it's a difficult one. I don't think she was personally saying, because there's people on social media like Instagram, Twitter, and other places, or in comments on like online newsletters saying she didn't have to repeat the word, and that some people saying that you said in advance it's going to cause offense. Some people are taking that as in like, so like you wanted to say it, so you're telling people it's going to cause offense and then go and say it.
Yeah, I don't think
it was meant like.
I don't think it was necessary to say it, and if you know it would cause offense and the sensitive climate we live in, you still say it. But you know it's targeted at a certain audience, which they don't rate anyway. They don't rate us in it as a community. So you think they really care at the end of the day? Because they got 18,500 complaints.
Yeah.
Just behind the Dominic Cummings back in May. For what he said.
23,000. Yeah. Was that a good?
So what Sideman actually said, he said. So I'm okay with process. I'm okay with waiting within reason for certain things to change. But the BBC sanctioning the N-word being said on national television by a white person is something I can't rock with. This is an error of judgment, but I can't just smile with you through the process and act like everything is okay. Basically, he's like, I just don't feel comfortable being aligned with the organisation, which is fair enough. Yeah, and obviously with Sideman, he's got his own thing anyway with YouTube and stuff like that. So yeah, big ups to him, because like I said before, it takes balls of steel to actually do that. But at the same time,
but hold on. The thing is, though, no, hold on.
It's like, do you know before?
No, sorry, let me say something.
Yeah, Karen.
Let me say something. Yeah. On the part where you say that, but she says, you know it's gonna cause offense, but then don't say. But isn't it like saying when they say that there's scenes that could be distressing or disturbing before they say, so don't just spring on you. Think about it. If someone hasn't heard about something like that earlier on, and they're watching like the TV news around 9 or 10 at night, and they're seeing that, no one's expecting the first thing to come out of your mouth is like a racial connotated slur, isn't it? So it's like be prepared. I'm not saying so. They're not gonna spring it on you. So it's like you're gonna be watching, and out of nowhere you just hear the words just like spell out like just like that.
Yeah.
That you known that it's something that's not good that's going to be reported based on what she's reporting, and she's coming up just using words. Do you know what I mean? On her own back.
Yeah.
That's how I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
They have to. Do you know what I mean? Because if they don't do that, wouldn't people be saying, "Well, why do you not warn people? Why are you just gonna go and just spurt out words and not actually tell people look, be prepared for like disturbing or distressing scenes or like language that may cause offence?" That's the procedures that are normally used, right? Yeah. So,
it's a bit mad. It's one of them, man. It's like
because that needs to be reported. It has to be reported. That's bad.
It's like before. What did we say just before we was recording? It's like back in school in English. When the teacher would be reading Mice and Men, what's the character's name in that?
There's lots of different characters. The black guy, so he Crooks, his name is
Crooks, yeah. And then what's our teacher called? Miss Hunter, yeah. She was like, nigger. And then we all just look at each other like, all the black people, all the black students in the class just look at each other like, wait, is she allowed to say that though? Like,
she's not. She's got
to add context to the situation.
To be honest, I feel like sometimes, I'm gonna be honest with this one. I feel like, when there's things that are not, there's taboo stuff. Sometimes sometimes I feel like as people, sometimes we can forget that context exists around things. So in that case, for example, where we was at school, and there was obviously it's a well-known story and book, and like there's a movie of it, like of Mice and Men. It's like around the 1930s in America where like the Great Depression happened and like racism was high in America, and like, it still is to this day, obviously. But in like 1930s, that existed. People were getting racially abused, and in that story, he's the only black character in the story, and the people, like for example, those people, like the white characters. So you got Curly, other people like George, Lenny, and all the other people. They call him the M word without even thinking it's something wrong, because that's just what they think that's just fine. Yeah. And so obviously those words are in the book because it's showing you this is what happens. So she's reading what's happening. She's not just using
that's what it is. It's just what happened.
Yeah.
It's just what's happened, what's happening. It's just you're just reporting on it. Now, if it was different, she's coming out
just willy-nilly, just throwing
fucking N-bombs all over the place. Then that's a different story.
Also, I think if you're being serious about, I feel like you can tell if some people are trying to do it
to instigate
something. Do you know what I mean? I've heard a story. So I had a friend that told me when he was at school, there was this. I think it was a similar context. I don't think it was Muscle Men, but it's something else. So this guy was saying the N word as a teacher, but it's like he wanted to say it. Do you get what I mean? From my friend described it. So he's like,
did he go to our school?
No, he didn't go to our school. It was a friend from.
They got a kick out of it. They like the fact that they can, and none of the students can't do
Because what it is, because he can keep hiding around the fact, but no, it's in context. It says it there. But you can tell by the way he's saying it, and every opportunity he gets to say it, it's like he wants to say it.
Enjoys it.
Like he wants to say it. That's the only way that he can get away with saying it. Yeah. Because other than that, he has nothing else to hide behind it. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know there's some people, because I'm good at picking up on things. I think I'm good enough picking up on things like that. I could tell when that you kind of got a pleasure out of saying it. Because you'd be like, well, that's the only chance I'm ever going to get to say something I shouldn't be saying, and no, and this time I can get away with it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. From when she said it, I don't know about you, but I don't personally get the sense that she wanted to say she's enjoying saying it. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe she didn't want to say it. I don't know, but I don't. From my judgment, I don't think she was trying to say it to you so she could get. Do you know what I mean? Because she wanted to cause people.
Yeah, she's a journalist.
To be annoyed.
Just reporting on something. It's a weird one. It's a bit of a weird one. You can't. I don't know.
So you got a lot.
I'm a bit on the fence on this one.
You got
But I still no. I'm not. I'm happy what Sideman.
You know what? Yeah. If he like I said, fair play to him.
Respect,
if he does that,
like respect, big time on his part. Because
yeah.
many people but then again, wouldn't be more powerful or more moving if you stayed on a platform and you called out BBC on what they done on BBC One Extra and say,
while he's in the job.
Yeah.
What happens though?
So you kick up a fuss, you kick up a stir.
Yeah, but I mean, what's gonna happen? A lot of
and then say if they react of what he done, and they sack him.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
Now shit's getting a bit spicy.
Nah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
You're gonna sack a black man.
Now, that's when you'll really, really see the true extent of the big problem. Now.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Now we're getting into it.
I am no longer looking anything about what that woman has gone and said. I'm not looking at her.
You're looking at the big boys now, BBC,
CEOs, in a national recognized company that are sacking a presenter because he dared come out and said his opinion that he thinks that is wrong has happened. Now, if he says that, which I think he's perfect in his right to say.
Yeah.
Now, if he's gone and done that, and then someone in the corporate side decides, or the stakeholder says, no, you need to get rid of him. You're just gonna show yourself what you are then. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
But by the way, not like I said, I respect his decision to do that, and I understand what he did. Now, because he's done what he's done, you will never get to see what they would have done now.
No.
You get what I mean? All they're gonna say is, "Oh, we just apologize," but you will never get to see in the moment. And it's a good point you just raised there as well.
And do you think he done that?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, Sideman, innit? But do you think he done that in? I don't know, the current climate we live in, where he know that will make big headlines with the whole BLM and stuff like that.
I don't.
Is he reacting off what we're living through right now?
I didn't get that impression. I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't think
maybe not. But I think it would have been more powerful if he didn't quit and he stayed, and he called them up on their stuff.
To be honest though, he could do that. And now, listen, that's
he puts them in a position where their hands are tied behind their back, so he can't.
If he did the alternative,
yeah.
If he did the alternative, of course, he would. Just a good point. I didn't even think of that. As well.
Yeah,
I didn't even think.
Because then you're really kicking up a big fuss.
Because that means you get to see who's really. Are they going to listen to your point of view and understand? Okay, maybe we should have thought about that, or you're going to be like, no. Because to be honest, if you're sacking him, there's no. Sorry, if he says that. There's no justification for sacking him. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Why are you sacking him for? Then you must be racist then. Because why are you sacking him because he said something like that?
This was broadcast on the back end of July, 29th of July. This is already happened in the past week and all that. So they were getting complaints and all that, but BBC were refusing to say sorry. Now they do it.
Yeah, you see, it's one of those ones. And to be honest, though, me personally, like if I can see something's not right, I've got problems with. I personally would like to think that I can obviously voice my concerns to the people and say something. But from the report, I said that the victims. This is what I'm trying to say. The victim's family, obviously the guy is black himself, has said no. I want you to tell them what happened. So don't paraphrase words. Yeah. Don't shorten words.
Don't gloss it over. Nothing.
Don't say. So they're saying I would rather you actually say the N word as in what actually happened. Than just like shorten and say, oh, the N word, to, you know what I mean, to try and avoid, wanting to say what happened, to show they obviously want to expose the true brutality of the event. Do you know what I mean? So not like kind of like dumb it down. No, say exactly what these nasty thug people actually did to our family member. You get it?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And I think that's what they wanted them to happen. So then, if they're saying it at the same time, who do we go with? The victim's family that's their wishes.
Yeah.
And to be honest, they happen to him.
Yeah.
And he's the one. He's obviously black himself.
They're the ones that gave. They were the ones that gave permission to.
So yeah. And they want him to do that.
It's one of them. So, but then you gotta think it's a big corporate company like BBC. It's like, I think they knew what they was doing. They knew it would kick up fucking headlines, stuff like that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
But to be honest though, to say if it's gonna kick up a headline, doesn't just because you know it's gonna kick up, you can have right intentions and still know it's gonna someone's not gonna like it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
I'm not trying to say that. I'm not saying they didn't do that. I don't know. Maybe they slightly wanted to be something like that. I don't know. But what I'm saying honestly though is that you can know. If the family's told them that, you can still know that, but maybe some people don't like it. But the fact that the victim's family have told you no, show the true extent of the story. We don't want you dumbing down or sugarcoating or paraphrasing words here or there or actions here and there to try and. We don't want you to. We want to say exactly how it happened, and that's what they did.
If you was him, would you done it?
If I was who?
Sideman.
Would I left?
Yeah. Would you resign?
I'm gonna lie. I have no idea. I have no idea. Because like I said, when I read the story properly, I didn't. From the people that are commenting on social media, on Instagram and Facebook, Twitter, wherever it is, all across the internet, social media, yeah. Like when they're just like, yeah, how they like. Normally, for example, I'm like big on like this. Like I've said things that I dislike about like racism. Like I've gone deep into like the stories and all kind of stuff. In this moment, I'm not one of them people that are gonna be like, yeah, if they're black people saying their opinion, that I agree with every black person's opinion. No, because I think for myself. Do you understand? Yeah. Like I think for myself, I don't just jump on something because I want to feel like I don't want to feel like the only person that's thinking differently. In that moment, in that particular incident, there's a lot of stories where on another day I'll be like, yeah, damn right, for definitely 100%. But this time I looked at it, I was thinking, I'm not sure about this one. I actually think that maybe she was just reporting what happened. Honestly, do you know what I mean?
Are you saying that's not that? Do you think it's been blown out of proportion?
By the way, I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it's not bad.
What you said earlier, like obviously you think for yourself.
Yeah.
And obviously in the black community, when someone says you feel sometimes, I don't know, you feel like pressure that you have to have the same opinion as them.
Well, what's happening on social media?
Because obviously, if you go on social media, everyone's bigging up Sideman, which they should. If you were to be like, nah, I don't rate that, everyone would be like,
I wouldn't say I don't. The things I wouldn't be saying things like I don't rate that, because if I'm saying that I respect his decision, I understand what he did, and that means I'm not saying I don't rate. If I don't rate that means I'll be like, no, why is he doing that? You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm just saying, me personally, I'm seeing another angle to it. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say to you. I don't necessarily think that the woman had, and this could be wrong. Maybe deep down she wants to say, I don't know her. Yeah, but I mean, I know I've heard of her before, but that's it. All I think is she's just reporting as a news reporter, journalist, what actually happened, and that's it. Yeah. He says like, for example, as a white person, they shouldn't be trying to say. He's saying that. Now, that's where, do you know what I mean?
They were like, why you say it all the time in your songs and all that? So
that's another story.
That's another story for another day.
What I'm trying to say. So if, for example, is it a case that if a black reporter says it, explains it in the context,
is it okay?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's the only reason why I say it this time is because they're saying, if there's a black reporter, they're saying it in a context. The victim family might even say the same thing to a black person that's reporting it. Yeah, say what happened, then they probably will say it. But if this report happens to be a white female that says it, but she's reporting in the same context. She's not using it as in like the context of she's just throwing it out. Now songs, which is another story, but I'm gonna go into it a little bit. Now, She Music, where we had we had a problem where remember the case where Kendrick Lamar brought on a white female onto the stage to sing his song, and in his song there's got a lot of N-words in the song. Now he pulled her up on that.
Who? Kendrick
Lamar. Do you not remember? He brought on a girl from the audience that was white.
When was this?
This was like I think that's earlier in the year or maybe last year. They brought in a girl onto the.
Wait, so he brought up on stage?
Yes.
For her to recite his lyrics.
Yes.
So when she recites his lyrics,
he pulled her up and said, "Hold on." He pulled her down and says, "You got to promise me to avoid all these lyrics." But the thing is, the problem with that, that's what I mean. There's a problem.
No. I need to know what song was this?
I can't remember the song. But if you find it, I'm not gonna go too much.
That sounds stupid.
I'm not gonna.
That's dumb.
There was a divide over that as well, even in the multiple community.
Dumb,
like famous people, like for example, like Ice Cube came out and said, "Listen, if you don't want people rapping your songs, don't put them with don't put the words in it." That's what I'm trying to say.
That's stupid. That don't even make sense, fam.
Some people, but you brought it up. You picked her from the crowd. Now, and I know don't go
Kendrick Lamar, I'm disappointed, man.
I don't want to go too much off topic.
I know you probably won't watch this, but still.
I don't want to go too much off topic here, but it's like, now you know how people, there's just songs in general. No audience, no one's bringing you out. But you got some white people that are just singing the songs willy-nilly, and then people don't even like that. And I understand. I'm a bit can be like,
do you know what?
But in terms of this, with the reporter, she's reporting what's saying. And to be honest, I don't think I don't really looking at her like that. Do
you know what the moral story is? Just don't say it. No one should say it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go off subject in it, man. In terms of like, if you're a concert or a festival, you'll go, look, fam, you're just reciting the lyrics, fam. If an artist is performing on stage, you're singing their
I think
you're singing their song.
I think it was wrong with him. I think like she kind of like, I'm not gonna lie. I think you kind of like set her up a bit. I'm not gonna lie. I think you kind of set her up. You kind of set her up. It doesn't make sense because think about it.
That's stupid.
Think about it though.
That's so,
if your song
that's so silly.
If your song is full of racial connotated words, right, which it is, because I listen to him personally myself, because I've listened to him, his music. How many pauses are you gonna have? So you're gonna be like, you'll say something, and you'll be like, fuck, and then do you know what I mean? You'll be like, that's not gonna work because you got. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think I've heard it. I need to watch that, fam.
That's not
what was she reciting? What, humble?
We'll look at it another time.
Hey, humble. Sit down.
I can't remember, but we'll look at it another time.
That's dumb. We'll get into that. We'll get into that another time.
But anyway, guys, that's just my and obviously my co-host's take on that. But that's just it may be an unpopular opinion, but that's just, I'm being honest. I'm being like real and honest with you. That's just how I see it in this incident. So many other incidents, I'm like, yeah, damn right. Out of all the wrong, no, you can't be doing that. But in terms of looking at her in this time, I see on this occasion, especially as a black man myself, I see another side to it, and I'm kind of gonna leave it. That's the end of the show for today, guys. I'm gonna be honest. Any last words?
We wrapping up, yeah. No, it was good, man. We were both objective, man.
But that's
we
it.
We got our own minds.
Anyway,
we're gonna speak
guys,
for ourselves.
Anyway,
that's what we do.
Anyway, guys, thanks for listening and watching into the show, and we'll be back with an episode very soon.